How's it going, guys? Today I want to tell you about one of the most exciting teams in basketball and one of my favorite teams to watch, the Charlotte Hornets. While the Hornets sit middle of the pack when it comes to record, that doesn't mean that they don't have some talent, namely in their starting lineup consisting of guys such as Lamelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, and now Kelly Oubre Jr. in lieu of a Gordon Hayward injury. Remember only a few years ago how the Ball Bros were all anyone could ever talk about? And I think we all deep down had doubts about the success of three brothers being successful in the NBA. And well, we were right. However, in only his second year, Lamelo has blossomed into one of the best point guards in the league. This year he's averaging 20 points on 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game. He's also adding in a steal and a half per game, as well as hitting 2.5 threes per game at pretty solid efficiency. Lamelo has earned himself an all-star selection where he is currently the 4th youngest player to ever play in the game. Lamelo has generational passing abilities and a crafty scoring game combined with a lethal deep 3 ball, making him not only effective in leading an offense, but raising the floor of his teammates around him. One of the teammates who I believe doesn't get enough credit is his effective 2-guard, Terry Rozier. While Scary Terry may have built himself some hype in Boston in some big games against the Bucks and Cavaliers, it was in Charlotte to where Rozier really developed into one of the league's best bucket getters. Currently, Rozier is averaging 18 points, 4 rebounds and assists per game. He's also making about 3 3-pointers per game on a solid 36% efficiency. Rozier's sneaky scoring with a few 30-point performances, which has saved the Hornets multiple times this season. But I would argue that Lamelo Ball and Terry Rozier aren't even the biggest highlight reels on the Hornets. That would be the former number 12 overall pick, Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges is absolutely exploding this season, averaging 20.7 rebounds, 3 assists per game. He's also doing this on a solid 58% true shooting percentage. Bridges is averaging 7 more points per game this year, as well as another assist and rebound per game. This year, there's an 8-point difference in the Hornets' offensive rating with Bridges on the court. On the court, they have a rating of about 114, but when Miles is off the court, that drops down to 106. And I'm sure you've already seen the highlights with Miles Bridges. Bridges, being one of the best dunkers in the league, have already gained plenty of attention thanks to Hornets announcer Eric Collins.
Here comes Rozier, he's got Miles! Oh! Yowza! Hum diddly dee!
Another solid forward the Hornets possess is Casper the Ghost. While many criticize Gordon Hayward for his contract and his inability to stay on the court, Hayward provides a consistent scoring threat and a locker room presence for the young Hornets. He's averaging 16, 4, and 3, as well as nearly hitting 2 3-pointers per game on an efficiency of 39%. Hayward has arguably been an average or even above average defender on a Hornets team sorely lacking defenders. However, only a few days ago, Hayward sprained his ankle and at the time of his recording does not have a return date. This means one of the hottest players in basketball, Kelly Oubre Jr. will be filling the spot. Luckily for the Hornets, Oubre is already playing a similar role to Hayward, as this year he's averaging 16 points on 4 rebounds a game. Oubre's career started off quiet until the 2008 to 2019 season, where he was traded from the Washington Wizards to the Phoenix Suns. Once in the Valley, Oubre improved his offensive game, becoming a better defender, and now with the Charlotte Hornets has continued to improve. Despite not being much of a shooter when he first entered into the league, Oubre is shooting 35% from 3 on nearly 3 3-pointers made per game, making him one of the most prolific shooters on the roster. I imagine that we will see plenty more playing time for him, and as the season goes on, I'm sure more of his dynamic scoring will be revealed. These guys are the reason why the Hornets pose one of the best starting lineups in the league. At the time I make this lineup scores nearly about 80 points per game, making them the 6th highest scoring starting lineup in the league. But that doesn't mean things are perfect for the young team. As I mentioned, Hayward is out for an unknown amount of time, and crucial role player Cody Martin is also out with an Achilles and ankle injury. However, when looking at the bench and big men of this team, this is where the Hornets begin to struggle. Their starting center is Mason Plumlee. Plumlee is one of the few positive defenders on the team, however their offensive rating drops by nearly -6 points when he steps onto the court. Their backup center Nick Richards isn't much better either. I do believe that the trade for Montrezl Harrell will help alleviate some of this. This year, Harrell has been a pretty solid defender while also putting up 13 and 7 per game. Harrell is standing at a 6'7", which would allow the Hornets to play an ultra small ball style of play. However, the bench unit is also still a struggle as the Hornets bench ranks towards the bottom of the league, specifically in scoring and rating. Cody Martin is one of their better bench players, however, as I said, he is injured, meaning more will be called on for their other role players such as PJ Washington and Kelly Oubre Jr. to make up for the missing production. While the bench is still a dark spot, overall the team's offense is still spectacular. They average 113 points per game, which is the second highest in the league. However, their defense also resides as a glaring issue as they average giving up 114 points per game, the third most in the league. Now I'm sure the defense doesn't surprise you. Many of the players that I've mentioned are passable at best, and their few positive defenders hardly make it up on the offensive end. While Charlotte is on a recent skid in their games, make no mistake, they have a high firepower offense that can give anybody a run for their money. At the time I make this, they currently sit at the 9th spot in the East. However, we all know how quickly standings can change, especially in this Eastern Conference. Regardless of the impact that the team makes this year, it is their youth the league needs to be worried about. Lamelo Ball is only 20 years old, but I'm willing to bet in a year or two, he will be in MVP talks if he continues to grow. Miles Bridges has been having a breakout year and he's only 23. Kelly Oubre and Cody Martin are only 26 years old, and even some of their older players like Gordon Hayward and Mason Plumlee are only 31. Assuming they re-sign Bridges, they have much of their young core for the next few years, and I have a strong feeling that this is only the start of a high firepower Hornets team in Charlotte. That's it for this one, guys. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button to show your support and help me feel better about myself. I'll catch you guys later.
Oh my goodness! Rozier. Oh! Terry rips it down! Gordon Hayward. Oh my goodness! On top of the Maryland wall! Oh, Miles Bridges, another follow! Alley-oop. Oh my! Oh my goodness! Didn't see that coming! Hum-diddly-dee! Yeah. Oh, Terry! You're kidding me!